think there might be something to say, but England are off to a winning start, but it's, as you know from previous experiences, it's never, ever easy. It was a tough watch and such a contrast in two halves of football.
Well, the result was the priority, 3 points, a great start for them, but like you say, the first half I thought they were absolutely magnificent. The second half, it was bitty, it was disjointed, the tactics were all over the place, and then we come to the manager. The substitutions in 2002 weren't great, 2004 I thought were appalling, and today, to me, he got it completely wrong again.
Inexplicable, really. And the team have played terrifically well in the first half. They've played a pressing game. They've gone out in the second half, 10 minutes into it, and he takes your striker off. After that, there was no one to hit.
Well, it was unbelievable because we were getting joy by hitting Peter Crouch, and Michael Owen picking up pieces. Not only that, but Frank Lampard or Steven Gerrard were running on. But as soon as Michael came off, we didn't have anyone to hit Peter Crouch, but no one else around him. Yeah. The only way we could play then was into feet, into Joe Cole, and they quickly sussed that out and stopped that, and we just put ourselves on the back foot straight away and invited pressure straight away as soon as that substitution was made.
Like the rest of us here, and you were getting extremely frustrated.
Well, I was, and the fact of the matter is I want to see Michael to play in 90 minutes if he can get the 90 minutes in and scoring a goal. Now, he's taken him off. I don't know if it's a throwback of his Italian days, you know what I mean, the 10 years he spent in Italy with his just get 1-0 a goal and just defend it, but it was so negative in the second half, and they brought a guy on who was causing us problems, and we just literally just handed over the impetus to Paraguay.
I think that's exactly what it is, isn't it? I mean, he spent such a long time. Italian football's probably ingrained within him, and you get a goal up and you sit, but we English teams are not good at that. It's not playing to our strengths.
Anybody can tell you that if you're under pressure, you need an outlet, somebody to hit, to hold it up, and then people to come and support, and that eventually alleviates that pressure. What was happening there was England were getting deeper and deeper and deeper because there was nobody to hit up front. And then it's easy possession for them, they get it, they get a bit of confidence, before you know it, you're hanging on. And, I mean, you go back to not taking Jermaine Defoe. I mean, today, after 60 minutes, if you take Michael Owen off, it's light for light. You just put Jermaine.
Well, I'm sat on the bench out there, and he's brought Walcott, I presume, as a centre forward. Yeah. And he's took Michael Owen off and put Joe Cole on in Michael's position. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, I'm a centre forward. Joe Cole's a midfielder and he's playing in that hole, albeit he can play there. Then again, he took Joe Cole off and put Steven Gerrard in that hole. So I'm on the bench thinking, I'm a centre forward. There's a midfielder actually playing in my role here.
It suggests that, having made the decision, that Eriksson now thinks, well, actually, Walcott's not ready.
Well, why bring him if you're not going to bring him on?
He may be admitting inwardly that he's made a mistake.
What it says is that he probably doesn't think he's ready at this moment in time. But if that's the case, then why bring him?
Especially when you've got doubts against your strikers, which we obviously highlighted before.
They just invited pressure onto themselves. You've seen time and time again where the back four, they looked up, they had the ball, they had no one to hit. So in turn, they give it to a midfielder who lost it because he had no one to hit. Invited pressure onto us straight away again.
I just think that we lost an opportunity to really send out a message that we really mean business. You know, leave Michael on, let him get the match business, maybe nick a goal, and just let people know that with Stevie Gerrard playing like he was, Joe Cole playing like he was, Beck's crossing how he is, we could have really sent a message letting people know that we're here to win the competition, but that was a very negative performance in the second half.
That's such a relevant point, because the way they played in the first half, it's also for their own confidence going into the next match. Yeah. If you play the second half like that, you're buzzing, you go back tonight, you think, whoa, we're the greatest team in the world. They won't be thinking that now.
He can't blame the fitness this time. He said himself, they're much fitter this time, they're better prepared, we've had the extra week of the season. I know it's a hot day.
Yeah, two totally different teams, one in the first half, one in the second half, two different performances. How many free kicks or how many corners did we see David Beckham whipping in the second half? We never hardly seen any because the pressure wasn't there. We weren't winning the ball further up the pitch like we were in the first half.
But just after he took Michael off, Beckham comes through on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Nobody in the box. Nobody near to getting in the box. It just needs a little ball across. If you've got a centre forward on there that's a predator, he's in and right after it, and it's in the back of the net.
But we mustn't forget, we've won the game.
Well, exactly.
If you've just come in, don't worry. Don't worry. England have won this game, and it came from a very early goal. After 2 minutes and 44 seconds, it was an own goal actually from David Beckham. Whipped in a free kick.
We've spoken about his delivery for about 3 weeks now, and this is as good as it gets. It's right in that slot. So difficult to defend against. It needs any touch.
Yeah, came off Gumara.
And it's in the back of the net. defenders under pressure, flicked on, goalkeeper, very little chances in the back of the net.
Well, we played very, very well. The coach would have been delighted at half-time going in the way they played, because for me the big thing is how we pressed them high up the field.
Yeah.
That's how we got the free kick that we scored from, because we pressed them up, we won the ball back, and we scored from it.
Why don't we just play our pressing Premiership game like we do? We're getting joy from it. Now the boys, we've got enough quality in there. It's not like, all due respect to women, it's not Wimbledon. But we've got quality on the ball, and we could just get the ball into crowd.
To be fair, it was really hot. It was 30 degrees. John Motson said it was irrelevant.
This is the only game England play at this time.
Yeah.
I just interrupt you a second because I might find out some answers. Sven, your reactions with Garth.
Sven, it was a great start, but a very nervy finish.
Yeah, maybe not nervy, but we suffered a lot, and I think this is a real first hot day. And I think that knocked us a little bit second half. But the most important was to have the 3 points today, and we got it. Suffering, football you suffer sometimes, but very good start.
We know it's hot, the players are fit. You took Michael Owen off, why?
Well, I thought we got difficulties to keep the ball there, so trying to have a player who can link the play up a little bit, and you called it well, and then we decided to play 5 on the midfield and only Crouch up front, and I think it got better at the end.
Once Michael went off, we seemed to lose our rhythm. Did you ever think about actually changing it again?
No, I think we lost the rhythm before. I think we started second half a little bit poor. We had problems to keep the ball in the team and problems to come out with the team. So, but anyhow, 3 points.
You've got the result, but against Trinidad, it's a must-win game. Will you be looking for a better performance?
I hope so. You always try to do better, but I'm happy today. We can play much better, but I'm happy because we started the tournament with 3 points, which is very important.
Thanks, Steph.
Thank you.
He thought they did better as the game progressed.
I suppose as a manager you've got to be optimistic. You've got to come out and say
Yeah.
the right things at the right time. But again, even when you look at Crouch, you leave Crouch on his own. The big thing about Crouch on his own up front is, one, he's never ever going to stretch the defence, so that ball in behind, you can forget it.
Yeah.
But when it's played up near to him, you've got to get people close to him.
Of course.
Because, you know,
No
it's just
point
a waste of
otherwise.
time.
He can't flick it on and chase it himself.
But then if you're sort of back to the wall, and it's such a release to hit the ball up in the air to somebody that's 6'7", and you see it time and time again.
And also, of course, you miss a player like Michael Owen who might just get into the box. And I think we've got a few examples of how it affected the overall performance of the side.
Well, I think it was right in one respect. I mean, England didn't start because past history tells us that Michael Owen would be there in that position to tap that ball in, because you've seen Peter Crouch and Joe Cole in the link-up play, and of course there's no one at all in.
It's really got it up against
Not his
it.
game.
It's not his game.
I think I agree with him in one respect, that again that they didn't start the second half, so he's thought, well, Paraguay have got a lot of the play here, what can we do about it to change it? But what we were saying, we were losing the ball in the middle third, and we were inviting pressure onto
But
our
it was
back
only
four.
55 minutes. It was
Yeah,
10 minutes since.
absolutely, yeah.
If you're going to take Michael Owen off in the World Cup after 55 minutes, what is that saying to like Michael Owen? He is our man who is going to score. He is the one who scores in all these big competitions for us. Why are you taking Michael Owen off so early?
Let's hear.
Because you're talking about the Italian style of play, where it's protect, you go 1-0 up, you protect what you've got.
Let's hear from someone who's used to Spanish style of play. David Beckham is with Garth.
Well, David, Sven seems to be suggesting that the heat had a bearing on England's performance today. Is that credible?
I think so. I think you know, it's hot for both teams. You know, I think you don't realise how hot it is out here, but you know, I think we was good at times, but you know, I think we give away the ball maybe a little bit too much, but you know, it's hot, and we've got what we wanted. We've got a good start. We've got 3 points. You know, performance can be better. We can work on that, but 3 points is what we set out to do, and you know, when we got that.
A lot of people will be rather confused that England in the first half dominate, but in the second half, yet again, let the game sort of slide away from them.
Yeah, I think, you know, we let him pass the ball around a little bit too much, but I think, you know, I think the exhaustion came into that, and you know, that's what we'll put it down to, because usually we're strong and we've got you know, our fitness levels are high, so you we'll be all right. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off. Right in the middle of it being hot. I think it's 28, 29 degrees. And that played a part, but we know we can play better, we know we can perform better, but, we've got what we wanted.
But in terms of tactics, when Michael Owen went off, we seemed to lose our shape. Was it as difficult to sort of regroup once he went off?
I don't think we lost our shape too much. I just think that, teams can do that. And South American teams played the ball well, they played the ball through the middle. I think that played a big part of it, but the important thing to think about now is we've got the 3 points, we've got the win, it's what we wanted. We've got a good start, and we've got to be happy with that.
Thanks, David.
Well, saying the right things, looking positive, looking at the 3 points.
It was hot. They played remarkably well in the first half.
It is hot at World Cup.
Well, no, but it was really hot today. I mean, 30 degrees is like roasting, and I think the secret is that you play as well as you did in the first half. You start the second half well, and hope that the substitutions work out.
And there were a few scares in the second half. I mean, Paraguay never really
took that, got away with it.
I think what we can say is very similar to Germany last night. We were looking at Germany last night saying teams won't be afraid to play them, but if teams are looking at England here, they'll probably say, well, we wouldn't be afraid to play England, but we know they can get better.
Yeah, exactly. Valdez went close as well.
Yeah, I think that, without a shadow of a doubt, that Valdez was the best player. This is the chance just before half-time where Ashley Cole slips. And then it comes in the box. Gerrard makes the first challenge is terrific. There, it comes to Valdez, takes a little touch, comes in. It's a fantastic hit. Just
His movement
by the post.
His movement was good in the game, all game, and there was a lot of talk about Roque Jr. at the start of the game. But like the fact is, he's got 4 goals in 11 starts for Paraguay, and his movement was really got some good skills.
At these chances, we're seeing chances. Are they great chances? The back four and the keeper really, well, especially the keeper, Paul Robinson, hasn't had a lot to do. Neville, Terry and Ferdinand, I thought, played pretty well throughout. And what you're talking about is if you were up against a better team in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, you might have paid for it.
True, that was a good chance. The ball's come a long way there. If he's taken that with his right foot, he might have had a chance to maybe guide it more in the goal. But good job.
England had better opportunities in the first half than Paraguay.
I think we just come in with such high expectations, and to be fair, the first half they didn't let us down. They went out and played very well. It was just went a bit flat second half.
And I suppose if England had won by 6, then conceivably you'd be saying we've won it already. which sometimes is a bad thing. So it really is. I mean, sometimes
keeps the feet on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
It just worries you that if we do later on in the stages, is he going to do one of these mental substitutions?
Let's hear from Frank Lampard. He's with Ray Stubbs.
Great first half. Couldn't quite capitalise on it in the second.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think we started the game really well with great intentions, moved the ball quickly, created chances, got the goal, and I think we was upset at half-time a little bit that we hadn't got another one to kill the game. Second half we went out with the intention to go and try and stay strong but get another goal. I think the heat sapped it out of us a little bit. We've got to say that, but I think to get the 3 points in the first game is the all-important thing.
Yeah, the result is all-important. It just shows how much you're expecting of yourselves. There's this sort of air of slight disappointment.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be. I think once the dust settles, we'll realise what an important result that was to get us started in the group. I think they're more used to this sort of climate. We're playing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, unfortunately, in this heat. But there's no excuses there. We've got our result. There's things we can work on and get better, and who wants to start the competition at your peak, you want to gradually get there, hopefully.
Yeah. Well played, the defenders, in regard of if you give away a goal and sort of concentration just lacks, then you've sort of given away the result.
Yeah, well played to the boys at the back, and I think everyone, because at times we sat back a little bit and we suffered a bit under pressure, and I think that's normal playing any team in the World Cup. And we got our shape and we defended well, and we didn't concede, and that's a big plus for us today.
What were you feeling at the start of the game, Frank? The crowd were terrific, the atmosphere, everyone was expectant. It was a terrific occasion.
Yeah, it was magnificent. I think from since we've been out in Germany, I think we've felt the buzz, and driving to the stadium, warming up with all the fans there, it really gives you a tingle, really does give you that extra sort of spring in your step, and I think that was our man today. they'll get even better like we will through the tournament, I think.
Should we take a big positive from the fact that you've won? You're not entirely happy with the second half performance, and it just shows how much you expect from yourselves.
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't know if you shouldn't say too much that we're not entirely happy. We are happy we won. I understand what you're saying. We know we can do it a bit better, but it's the first game of the tournament. 3 points on the board, bit of time to work on things, and we'll get better.
Well done, Frank. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Cheers. Thanks.
Frank Lampard, customary, had a few shots.
I think he
Couple of good efforts.
Summed up the England performance really. The first half, I thought when they were getting it done, playing and moving, he was really good. The second half, to me, he didn't feature that much. Struggled to get in the game. He's saying the heat affected him. This is good movement, good 1-2, decent hit, comfortable save. But that's when England were playing really well in the first half. They were getting up, they were picking it, they were playing it, they were making holes in the opposition defence. And it just looked great, and it looked as though they were going to win. But even Steven Gerrard in the second half, we were saying it in the first half, absolutely awesome. The second half struggled as well. Struggled to.
Well, maybe it was just hot, but they should have been in Mexico and actually.
Cool.
Now, Starman. I mean, Joe Cole was terrific, wasn't he?
Well, he was. We mentioned that before. Gerrard in the first half was awesome, but Joe Cole, for me, right throughout the game, made some great runs, some intelligent play, great balls when he's in that left-hand side, cutting in. He's just become a star for England, really has.
Yeah,
that position there, Al.
He's very, very impressive. He's tight on the line, he's got nowhere to go. They think they've got him where they want him, but he produces a piece of magic. He gets out and England are having a shot on goal there, and I was very impressed with Joe today. I thought him and Gerrard were the pick of the bunch today.
Same position again, Ian?
Yep, coming in off the left again. The thing with Joe, what I like, is he's going on the outside as well now. A lot of the times when he first came, he was coming onto his right foot, but he's doing his skills, which you know he's got, and he's going down the line and whipping it with his...
Going up against him, and the knowledge that he can go to the right or the left, makes it really difficult to channel him either way.
Coaches and managers are now watching him, and scouts and thinking, well, we've got this right-footed player who's on the left, but don't underestimate him when he goes down the left-hand side on the outside as well.
Okay, gentlemen, it was a different sort of day. Somebody attempted to say it's a game of two halves, but it's a win nevertheless. Before I leave you, let me point you in the direction of our highlights. Later this evening, Sweden against Trinidad and Tobago. That's the other game in this group, of course. That's 11 o'clock on BBC One. And also join us, following us here on interactive coverage. Match of the Day Extra. Just press your red button for that. So that's it from us. England are off to a winning start. Bring on Trinidad, and while you're at it, bring on Tobago as well. Goodbye.
If I could cheat, I would skip to the end and decide if it's worth going through with. Skip to the last